We just redid the bathroom and installed a new top and used the old sink from the former bathroom here. It's just one problem. It's not glued to the bottom. I want to fix that today. Thing is, I've never enjoyed the idea of gluing ceramics to wood. Wood doesn't really like to stay wet, so I want to be able to take this on and off whenever I need to. That's why I'm gonna try to attach this by squeezing it to the wood in some way. I want to have some kind of gasket here, maybe of neoprene or silicone or something, that maybe a rubber gasket. But that means I need to attach something to the sink to be able to screw it to the wood from the underside. Because now this is all ceramics and nowhere to attach wood. I think I should be able to unscrew this from the underside and just lift it out. Here you see the old silicone. Probably should try to remove a bit more of this. We'll see. The ceramic here is coated in a different kind of enamel. Not sure what kind in it. It's not as slippery as this hard one. So I'm thinking epoxy should be able to stick to it. I just need to figure out where the hole is supposed to go and glue some blocks of wood onto this sink. And then I can use a different block of wood to connect it to the top. Here are most of my glues. I'm thinking I'm gonna check out if any of these are usable. I believe I have epoxy somewhere. Here we go. I think this might be steel and metal. No. I guess this could work. Water-based, solvent-free, glue for montage for most materials. Glues framing, plaster, panels, good for wood. Kakel. That's Swedish. I have sort of idea what it means. I think it means tiles. I think it's tiles. Aluminum. No, yeah. Brick, stone, gypsum, plastic, but not. Blah, 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 blah. Ah, okay. I'm not sure about this. But I'm sort of too lazy to figure out what glue I need and wait to get it. So it says no more nails. Strong and easy. Yeah. Let's try. I really need to get rid of these things. Glue pads, maybe some of the silicone. Ooh, yeah. Actually, I don't really need to remove this. I can just glue it outside of the dots. I should roughen the surface with some sandpaper. 2 seconds. Thinking 120 would probably work quite well. Let's see what happens. I don't know if it's doing much, but it smells kind of funny. It smells a bit like when you punch two rocks together. I think that's the smell of ozone. I've heard that somewhere. I don't know. thing about actually making videos of these projects is that I sort of need to do it properly. So usually when I sand, I don't really bother with drying over the surface or cleaning it. But for you guys, I'm gonna do it. I have a lot of off-cut wood, so I'm just gonna check my box. Let's see if we find something. This is actually quite good. It's birch plywood. Used to be the holder for all my tools. Seems a bit overkill. Here is some poplar plywood. I'm worried it's a bit too soft, but and these are some quite rough plywood pieces that we bought for cheap. Some of them have delaminated, but I think this piece seems okay. But I think it might be a project I have. Do I care? Maybe I have another piece of this one. Or this. Yeah, seems to be okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use this one. I probably have a pipe in my face, don't I? Think this piece is gonna be okay. This looks stupid. This looks crooked. This piece is gonna be just fine. I need to cut pieces that are approximately the right size, and I think I'm going to use the bandsaw. It's quite easy. It doesn't really need to be super precise. I just need to have some rough shape that fits in this space. The flat part is 9 by, could be 9 by 9, especially if I round the corners. I think I want at least 3 pieces, maybe actually 4, because then I can be sure if I need to sort of rotate the sink. One thing I didn't think of is that the countertop is here, well, with a gap. I don't really have that much space underneath. Maybe I need to cut a bigger hole in the tabletop. Tabletop? Bathroom sink top? Countertop? The wood that holds the sink in the bathroom. I could cut a bigger hole. It doesn't really matter, does it? No. It's a bit messy. And I need to seal the edge afterwards. It's a bit boring. I think I'm going to do it anyways. It's the right thing to do. The part that supports the sink is about 29 centimeters on the inside, so I need to at least leave a couple of centimeters for the sink to rest on. I'm thinking 25 could be a good size for the hole. And it's 27.5 from this split to this split, so I want to leave as much as possible. So if I do 23, I leave about 2 centimeters on each side. I think that might be a good idea. What's the diagonal of 23? 27, 6 squared 2, what? Is it times 1.4? Yeah, it is. So 23 times 1.4, 8, 30? It's about 30, because I could make a square hole. I don't know if that's easier. No, it's so much to think about. This is why you don't have an architect do your sink. Too much sinking. Sorry. Our jigsaw has a nasty tendency to not necessarily break the surface with the blades, but actually scratch the surface with the bottom of the metal thingy that it runs on. I'm going to tape the surface before starting. This is just some painter's tape, but it sort of just helps with protecting the wood. I'm gonna be a bit careful in addition, but better to be safe than sorry. It should be enough. See what I mean? It's usually a good idea to seal the edge underneath, so I'm gonna just smear on some silicone just to stop it from sucking water into the fibers of the wood here. Ideally it wouldn't really get wet, but it's a sink. Stuff gets wet. I found an old tube of silicone. I think it should be okay. But silicone always makes a mess, so I wanna put on some gloves. Now the glue needs to set. Silicone probably takes a day to be fully cured in this kind of humid... I have words. The silicone needs to set. I think tomorrow it's going to be all cured, but as long as I don't touch it now, it should be fine to just assemble it and put the sink back without problems. We have a hole in the countertop that's 24 centimeters. That means we need to stay a bit inside of that. So I'm going to draw up a circle on this surface that's 24 centimeters to be sure that I don't need to chisel away stuff afterwards. I'm going to cut some pieces of this to attach to the sink. If I just use a buttload of glue, it should do the trick. I had to massacre the tip. That dried glue inside of it. Cured, dried. I'm not too impressed with this tube. Oh. Come on! Oh. I've heard touching glue you don't really know the chemistry of is really good for your skin. Look how beautiful my hands are. Let's go. Come on. Squeeze. Next, I have to figure out what kind of gasket I'm gonna use. I'm just gonna have a look around in the house to see if I have something. If not, I have to buy some. Set a list. This might work. So the question now is this flexible both directions? Because I wanted to twist this way, not only this way. Boing, 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 boing. I think it should be okay. Too short? Too long? The glue seems to be a bit old. I might have to do some extra gluing. Yeah. This doesn't work. So what kind of glue? Super glue? I think there should be enough here. Yeah. I have no idea if CA glue will stick on this combination of leftover silicone, ceramics and neoprene, whatever this thing is. But just one way to figure it out. Let's try. Yeah. I'm gonna try avoid stretching the rubber while I glue it, because I think it might get loose quicker that way. And I wanna have some even pressure here. CA glue is quite brittle, and obviously this one isn't. And this one doesn't really move, so not bad. The glue smells quite bad. Probably should use a respirator, but it's not that much. I'm okay. It actually helps blowing on super glue, because it reacts with the moisture in my breath. So, if you didn't know, sorry for repeating. No, if you didn't know, if you did know, anyway, now you know. Kotti kotti. Then I think we just have to let this glue cure too. When this is cured and the silicone is cured, we can attach the sink. And then we'll figure out the rest. It's been, I think, maybe 2 weeks, so this glue should be cured. seems to be holding quite well. I guess the next thing is to try to put it into place and have a look at the underside of the bench and see how we're gonna attach it. Wow, that's a thing of beauty. At least it's stuck. And it's also possible to remove if I need to. Job well done.